Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. This morning's Kat Deeley and Ben Shepherd fought tears on air as they interrupted the show to address a tragic death. Kat and Ben began Tuesday, June 17th's episode by paying tribute to Jamie and Fionn Gall Greenlaw Meek, who had made several appearances on This Morning. The pair were killed in the tragic Air India crash on June 12, which took the lives of all 242 passengers, bar one survivor. Fionn Gall featured on This Morning in January and April this year as he spoke about his company, The Wellness Foundry, which he founded with husband Jamie. Before continuing with the rest of the show, Kat said, "We'd like to start by taking a moment to send our heartfelt condolences to the friends and family of Jamie and Fionn Gall Greenlaw Meek, who tragically lost their lives in the Air India crash." Ben continued, "As more details continue to emerge from the devastating tragedy, their loved ones have asked us to share a statement on their behalf. It is with profound sadness and unimaginable heartbreak that we confirm that both Jamie and Fionn Gall were passengers on the Air India flight that tragically crashed in India." Kat added, "They were a bright light in so many of our lives, deeply loved as sons, brothers, and friends. Their warmth, kindness, humor, and generous spirits touched everyone who knew them. We are all beyond devastated by the news and are struggling to come to terms with the potential of a life without." Ben read on, "They would want us to spread positive energy to the world, especially at this time. May peace and love prevail. Where there is darkness, spread light, love, and laughter." We were lucky enough to spend some time with both of them, Fionn Gall on the show, of course, Jamie behind the scenes. Describing the pair, Kat said, "Just absolutely charming gentlemen who were so positive. I've still got my Palo Santo that he gave me and the rosemary that I burn." Ben agreed. "Fionn Gall came to him last time. He left us with a little care package, didn't he? And I've got the stuff to cleanse the energy in my room, some grounding stones, the little bell to tingle, and some spritz." And when we heard the news, obviously it was heartbreaking that the lives of these two young men that were so full of joy and wonderful souls have been tragically lost. They will be really sorely missed and very warmly remembered by all of their friends and family, of course. The bright studio lights of This Morning gleamed across the set as Kat Deeley adjusted her notes, preparing for another smooth transition into a light-hearted segment. The producers had stacked the show with their usual mix of recipes, celebrity chatter, and uplifting stories. But behind Kat's familiar smile, a heavy weight pressed against her chest. It was only minutes into the broadcast when her voice began to tremble. The teleprompter kept scrolling, but her eyes blurred, refusing to follow the words. For a long, quiet moment, she clutched the papers in her hands and drew in a shaky breath. Her co-host glanced at her with concern. The cameras, sensing the unspoken drama unfolding, held their shot. Finally, Kat lifted her gaze and addressed the millions watching. "There's something I need to say, and I can't go on with the show until I do." The studio fell utterly silent. Even the crew behind the camera stopped moving. Kat's eyes shimmered with tears as she placed her notes on the table, pressing her hand to her heart. At home, viewers leaned closer to their screens, their hearts tightening. Kat was not known for showing such raw vulnerability on live television, but in that instant, she wasn't a polished presenter. She was simply a grieving friend. She continued, her words tumbling gently, filled with reverence. "He had this way of making everyone feel seen. Even on the busiest days, he'd stop and ask how you were, really ask, and he'd wait for your answer. The world feels dimmer today without him." The memory of their final conversation lingered in her mind, and a tear traced its way down her cheek. The control room, usually quick to cut to commercial during emotional moments, allowed the silence to breathe. It was powerful television, unplanned and deeply human. After a pause, Kat added softly, "To his family, we send our love. To everyone at ITV, we share your grief. And to all of you watching, hold your loved ones close today. You never know when you'll have your last conversation with them." The audience on social media erupted instantly. Clips of Kat's heartfelt tribute spread within minutes. viewers praising her bravery for breaking the glossy surface of daytime television to reveal her true self. Messages of condolence for the late ITV star poured in from across the nation. When Kat finally composed herself and the program continued, there was a different energy on set. The laughter that returned later in the show carried an extra weight, a reminder that joy and grief often walk hand in hand. As the credits rolled that day, one thing was certain. Kat Deeley's tearful tribute had etched itself into the memory of this morning forever.